Good evening. We're going to call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For roll call, all directors are present. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We have nobody present for public comment. Anybody online? Nobody online for public comment. We're on to approval of the minutes. And I motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Review of committee roles and responsibilities. Is that on to you, Don?
Yeah, so each year, when we have the new committees, they take a look at the committee rules from the prior years. And I'm sorry, I had a phone call from, let me step out and take this one.
Sure.
Oh, I can take over.
Perfect.
if you like.
Thank you.
So every year we review. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I'm back. That was Congressman J.O. Renaulty calling me
Okay.
to update me on what new things he's doing. Okay, so where we left off, each year when the committees change, they have the rules from the what they determined before, and the committee can look at those and determine if there's any need for changes on the duties and the responsibilities. And if you'd like to make any changes, we can do that. If not, we can keep them as they are.
Did you have any thoughts?
It all looks pretty good to me.
For me as well. Do we need a vote on that?
You can just receive those, and if you agree with that, there's nothing to do except for just concur.
Okay. So we're going to continue with how it stands.
Perfect.
Okay. Review of the 10-year capital plan.
Did you want to assign a chair for the committee?
I think they just did. Did they?
Do we need to do that here?
Probably so it's on record.
I'm sorry, I was listening.
They need to assign a chair.
Oh, okay. I nominate Director Mills as the chair.
Didn't want to nominate myself. I'll accept that nomination. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. It's on record. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't come out a bigger one for you. I'm very sorry.
Am I the only one with the small version of that? Oh, they have it on their screen. Never mind. Yeah, okay.
So we're on number 5, the capital plan.
Number 5, and we're going to. Staff will be talking about different aspects of this. This is what we're proposing, and it's open for discussion, is the capital plan for the 26-27 budget. And you can see the changes that we have on here are in red. Most of it stayed the same, except they did shift over a year for some of the items, depending on the workload during the year. If the availability of doing some of these projects changes, we will push them back a year. And we have if you look on page 1 of 2, up at the top, we have the construction of well 16 and 18, which are under construction right now. We have the storage tank for Reservoir 6A. 6A is the tank up here at the top of the street at the end of Sheep Creek Road, on the site that's pretty much shared with Sheep Creek Water up there at the top. That is the one that we have grant money to do the construction for that tank.
So that one's getting pushed out to 26, 27?
Yeah, we are just, CEQA is just, George, go ahead and update us on the CEQA on that.
Yeah, we just received the final documents for the NEPA. That NEPA document is going to be part of the RFP for the design. It's there's going to be some design. We considered doing an internal design in the office, but with availability, it's best just to push it out. There's seismic that needs to be addressed. There's other specific trades that are part of the plan set. So we're going to be sending that out here real soon. So once the design is complete, then it's going to go out to bid, and we're looking at monies then would be spent in the next fiscal year after July 1st.
Probably a good thing with everything that's going on anyways, and all the repairs we're gonna have to make here pretty quick.
Yeah, plus just the amount of time, since CEQA is just now wrapping up, the amount of time from the design to actually going to bid and construction, it pushes it up into next year, which is less than 6 months away.
Thank you.
The next one is the Civic Center project. And you can see that project is going to continue this year and push some into next year. It kept getting pushed back further and further this year. So those are the amounts for that. The next section, unless there's any questions on that, I can move on to the next section. The next section we have, these were projects that were in the prior 10-year capital. Last year, we moved a bunch of them out because we have a update on the master plan coming up. And we want to make sure that with the changes that we have in the system now, with the new wells coming online and the new tank, to see if these are still going to be priority projects. A lot of these will be paid for with developer dollars. If somebody comes in and needs to upsize a line to meet the fire flow requirements, they would be paying those. So therefore, we did leave these on here for right now so you could see what was on there, but we will be putting in $0 for those this year. And we'll probably, to save some confusion, moving them to maybe a secondary sheet for future projects. George, can you remind me on the line number 6, fire suppression? Was that the helipad? Okay, that was the helipad that we had budgeted. I drew a blank on that one. If we receive some grant money for that, we will look at that. But as of right now, it's just a placeholder for next year. Everything else stays the same. We have the electrical panel replacements, future expansion of sites. If we need to, we can buy some property. And we also have a storage tank on line number 10, which we've pushed that out, and that will be out into 29-30 year. Again, with the improvements we've made to the system, it's not as urgent, and we can move those out a little bit further.
The urban water management plan, we are working with Mojave Water Agency with other agencies to develop a regional plan versus us managing our own plan. It was best that they be involved. Since we still work with them in the plan, it was cost effective to work with Mojave and their engineers to develop a plan for the district as well as the others. It was all in. If any one district decided not to participate, then this was not an option. There were other options as how much involvement would be in developing the plan. If there was little, then the cost would have been a little bit different than the 15. The 15 is ultimately they're preparing the plan and with some input from staff. So back 5 years ago when we last updated the urban water management plan, we were in a 45,000 range for services with an engineer. 15,000 was best for the district to let them handle it, and for 15 was cost effective.
Wow.
Is it gonna change the way at all that Water Master monitors the basin and operates out of the basin?
that is always looked at as far as how it's managed with Mojave. But what we bring to that plan is our BMPs as part of the urban water management plan. They also address future use in a way and how we would handle the demand. We haven't received and it's supposed to be released sometime this month, or if not early next month in March, the final draft of the guidelines for the plan. So it's not going to change much from last plan of 5 years ago, but the state always has adjustments. There was a lot of changes from 2 plans ago because we're going through a conservation measure with the state. There's not much changes that they anticipate. The draft is out, is whether it was going to be accepted by the state as moving forward with the plan.
So the reduction in our water rights is going to stay pretty much where it is? You
There
don't think
is
there'll be any change in any of that?
There is a presentation scheduled for the March meeting with Mojave in Watermaster. I can't say with Watermaster, but Capo, the engineer with Mojave, on the health of the basin and future, the outlook on what it's going to look like for the district, specifically for Oeste Basin. So I don't know if that's going to be part of the plan. It could be, but we're going to get more information from staff in the next month.
Thank you.
George, I'm going to let you handle the page 2 of these with the software.
The vehicle, we don't have anything budgeted for the vehicle and equipment. Typically, that's operations. A field truck we do have. Sean usually has a plan on replacement. So that's either a place marker for a new vehicle. Hardware server standardization. This is one that was brought to our attention with our IT on aging hardware just last week. We're getting hard numbers on that. They are aware that we're going to be moving to a new location, so we'll be taking some of the equipment over to the new location. But this is critical. They pretty much provide us a monthly assessment on hardware. They're diving in deeper. So we had a place marker for that last year. We moved it over this year. So we have that set aside. We'll actually have a better number as soon as they kind of get us what generally a placeholder realistic number would be, and what equipment is required for replacement. We just recently replaced 11 laptops with the version that would be non-compliant for security, cybersecurity measures and stuff. Software. Currently, we're using Tyler as our customer service, as a customer management service system. There's been some struggles with that application, and one, they don't like to play with GIS. They have their own environment, a GIS environment, and specifically in what occurred over the last storm events and the services that they provide. So staff is looking into alternative application that is more to date. I don't know if you know the history of Tyler. They're buying a lot of companies, and I think they're just grown too big, too fast, and lack the customer service. With that, as well as the enterprise reporting, that kind of ties into the Tyler that we have now, which is the finance component of it. So if you use an example on an application, it would be Workday as an alternative. SAP is another one. I don't know if those terms you've seen advertisement on television or in publications, but there are the major ones, and those are like similar the options that we'd be looking at. Not quite them, but something more cost effective for the district as a small special district.
One of the problems that we ran into during the storm was the boil water notices and getting those phone calls out to the people. And they were in batches of what, how many? They were very,
500,
Yeah, 500, and it was taking forever, and there were people getting boil water notices after we lifted the boil water notice. So that is a problem, and we need to look at what we can do to modernize our system.
That shouldn't happen. We don't hear that. They go out in batches. By the time the first batch or notice expires, then we have another one. We have to wait for that to be terminated. We can see it, we can monitor in Tyler what's still pending to be sent out. And then we have to issue another one. So there was a lag or delay in issuing the other one, because then there'd be some confusion on, do I boil my water, not boil my water, is it lifted? That shouldn't happen. And for whatever reason, it's happening, so.
So we're using Tyler for everything, financial system and everything that we have?
We are using them for finance. Eventually, we are using Encode 10. We've been using for the last several years since they upgraded the software. Now they're pushing everybody to the cloud. And that's going to kind of push up the cost in services, monthly services, or yearly contract services. We kick the can, not having to jump into that because it's double the cost. With that being said, we're looking at alternative application that would not be as expensive as, everybody now is at the cloud. We're just the last ones, and even the services that we're entertaining now are on the cloud. So that's what we're looking at.
Good.
So if you review this and you have any other questions as we go through the budget process this year, there's still time to make modifications, and we may have some minor tweaks here and there, but as we do, we'll bring that back to the committee. But as the budget package goes forward to the board, it will be complete for all the different services that we provide, the capital, enterprise, and the governmental funds.
I just had one question. So if a lot of the services require you to go to the cloud, do you still need the hardware server on the capital plan? Because normally you either have a cloud or you have a server, or do you have both?
There's several services that we offer, that we deploy on our servers. We have the GIS that is on-premise. We also have our hardware server, which is on-premise, where all of our files and data are stored. Then we have a Tyler. There is still redundancy in that. So the hardware, should something ever happen, you're still able to access data. So there's that redundancy. It's not quite as robust as what it should be if it was on-premise and solely server-based. There is some hardware still involved. We use a Datto as a backup, and it automatically updates or backs up files that are edited within an hour. So it's always updating. So if the servers ever go down, we have a server ready to be in place to continue operation, then restoring from backups. So we could be up and running in a couple of hours versus a couple of days. And it's also put in place for cybersecurity. If we were ever attacked or they compromise our server, we say, keep the server, keep the data, we got a new one, and not deal with any ransomware like what we've experienced here up in High Desert with other agencies. So there's a lot of that contingency put in place for the district. And the cloud, we still use the cloud for GIS. We still have a server. That's where all our data is hosted. And we still use a cloud. So we're like a hybrid for GIS. Servers are strictly on-premise for data, all of our files.
Okay. Thank you.
Is all of our GIS stuff Esri? Is that who we use for
Yeah.
GIS? And they're all open platform, right? So
When you say open platform, there are applications. There's a lot of security in accessing the data, and working with Active IT, who's our IT, there's a lot of measures that are put in. For our field staff, park staff, and admin staff, they can access it through a workstation, meaning a computer, tablets. it's just downloading, logging into your account, and having the ability to either edit, view. There's a lot of different user components of it, but it is open platform, but there's a lot of security that we have to abide by.
That's what we used to use in Fontana too, and everybody could edit everything in the field from a laptop, yeah. It was
Yeah,
awesome,
if
awesome
you-
software, yeah.
Yeah, that's the, they're the Microsoft of GIS, right? So,
So that's everything for the capital plan? Okay, thank you. All right, number 6, storm-related infrastructure impacts and preliminary cost estimates.
Okay, we're going to turn this over to Chris.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bartz. I'll just go over some of the numbers like we reviewed in the board meeting. During the storm of 2025, we experienced 11 water main breaks. Those were all repaired. This does not include section of line that were washed away and that have not been repaired or replaced. 3 main crossings through the Sheep Creek Wash were washed away and have not been replaced due to the amount of main that was washed away. 3 main crossings that run through the Sheep Creek Wash have been temporarily repaired, but still are in need of permanent replacement or permanent repairs. The crossing through the wash at Trinity, that's a crucial crossing. We will be repairing that one shortly. That should be back online by spring. That's due to the need of the water for tank 6A as we come into summertime. The field staff continues hauling material to cover water mains that are exposed throughout the district. The staff continues to evaluate needed repairs and continues to complete repairs as they come across throughout the district. There has been an estimated $313,000 spent on storm-related cost with material, labor, bottled water, and those costs will continue to rise as we haul more material and make additional repairs. We have submitted to Cal OES cost estimates for 9 water main replacements, and along with all the costs incurred through January 6, 2026. With the 9 water replacements, many of those will be through the washes, and those will be lowered to 12 to 15 foot, so this should never be an issue again through the washes. Any questions?
Let's hope we get reimbursed by Cal OES.
Oh, from what I understand, we have a meeting with them tomorrow,
Nice.
so.
I don't have any questions.
And there's about 50 pages of breakdown of the costs, and it's probably not all of them. I'm sure there's others that will be coming in.
It'll keep increasing, but we'll keep track of all our costs.
So without digging through this whole thing, do we know the estimated total? Is it 2.7? Is that where we were
Yeah,
at?
so the 2.7 is if we do everything we would love to do and have a contractor and come in and do it. So when we're, what we've proposed with Cal OES is that all of those crossings in the wash be replaced to an adequate depth, along with some of the others, and that does come out to an excess of $2 million. I think it would be wishful thinking if we thought we'd get all of that. I don't think we will, but we'll have a better idea after our meeting tomorrow with the county.
Hope that goes well.
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping track of everything and doing that. I know that's a pain in the butt to do that for them. And from what Sean was telling me last week, you guys did a great job tracking all those expenses.
Yeah. If you don't have receipts and you don't have the
Time
hours and
in,
everything else,
time
you don't
out,
get
exact
reimbursed.
People, locations, yeah.
So if Cal OES kicks in, that's no repayment back? What are we talking? Is this
Well,
like a
it
grant or
just
a loan?
depends.
What
I
is
don't think that Cal OES is going to do the whole thing. We're in the process right now of evaluating, which ones we need to do right now. Because by the time we would get funding from Cal OES, it may be 6 months. It's going to be a period of time. I know that, was it Middleton, Chris, is that the first one?
The first one, Trinity, south
Trinity,
of
yeah.
138.
So we will, the ones that are critical right now, because we lost, we have two of the crossings across the wash left. So we will be working on, staff's working on getting it surveyed, getting plans, and we'll probably do that first one in-house. Potentially, we're looking at that. So as we have these repairs, we'll be bringing back to the engineering committee. We just haven't had, engineering committee and the board, we haven't had time to evaluate exactly what's critical that we get done right now. It is, I think, pretty critical that we get these crossings back in the ground. And one of the things that we'll be doing is coming up with the plan for that. We have emergency reserves for the water system, and this is a prime candidate for those funds. But we're not going to pull $2.7 million out of our own pocket to do that. But that is our ask for the Cal OES.
Yep. And I've stated this at the board meeting. San Bernardino Office of Emergency Services has been proactive in reaching out to the district on these numbers, like the cost. I mean, early on while we were out there making the repairs, they were asking for this information. We asked that if we can wait a couple days to get some real costs. So they were really proactive. We provided them with that Excel spreadsheet of those costs. And we just got a call today about us moving forward. The meeting tomorrow is San Bernardino OES meeting with the state to go over the damages and the reimbursements. So we will be meeting with the state. Total, what they have tallied was about 12 point something million for countywide. Lido Creek, Wrightwood, Hesperia, and the district, as well as residential, like not just special districts and cities and agencies. It tallied at 12, and they had stated that the benchmark is 10.6, 10.4, and it exceeded it. So they're asking for the 12.7 million. So we're going to have that meeting with the state tomorrow. To kind of walk them through. They did ask us if we would be available to provide a presentation on the damages from the storm in a future date. We're like, absolutely, we'll be there. And they're asking other agencies to do the same as well. We just don't know when that's going to happen. We did offer video, drone imagery, pictures during the storm and during the repairs. To kind of make the case. They said they would love to have that when we get to the next level. So it's to say that they're proactively reaching out to us says a lot. That usually we're seeking help, and they said, hey, give us those numbers, and that says a lot. So it's kind of what we're going to meet with tomorrow.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, I think we're good. Number 7, discussion regarding purchasing of a case skip loader 570 NEP.
Chris, do you want to go ahead and take this?
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bartz. Staff is seeking the committee's recommendation to present this item for consideration to the board of directors at a future scheduled regular meeting. With the district experience an unprecedented level of damage of infrastructure from the storm, this 2025 winter storm, it left a trail of destruction with significant earthwork needed, along with water main repairs, replacements, and also to protect main lines from future damages. This earthwork is being accomplished currently with both currently owned and rented machinery. We do currently have between a D5, D6 dozer on rent, and that's being used periodically. We also are using our own equipment, case backhoe, an older case backhoe that we still own, which is on a low use exemption for CARB compliance. So we are limited to hours. one skid steer, which is on the same low-use exemption, and a Kubota mini excavator. These pieces of equipment are being used to backfill mains and make repairs. Staff evaluated a D6 dozer and a skip loader, and weighing cost, operations, maintenance, and versatility, staff found that the most useful piece of equipment at this time would be a full-size skip loader with a 4-in-1 front loader bucket. The initial cost of a dozer is much greater than the skip loader, with the used dozer starting at around $300,000 and escalating up to $500,000. With this cost, the skip loader's price point was much more appealing at $100,000 plus tax. Overall, skip loader will be more useful with continued storm repairs and future storm repairs and projects for the district. The purchase of a 570N EP would allow the district staff more efficiently and expediently complete the necessary earthwork for the main lines impacted, while also helping our off-road compliance fleet, which is known as ROAR, for the district by adding another Tier 4 final diesel engine to the fleet. Costs were evaluated with 5 machines, and the fiscal impact with a new case 570N would be approximately $114,000, and this includes the purchase, tax, license, everything. Any questions?
I'm surprised you guys don't have one already.
Me too.
The only question I'm gonna have is, did you price it against a John Deere too, like a 210 or something?
We have, and the John Deere's were far more expensive than the case. So that's why we've kind of stayed, even the backhoe, when that was purchased, I think in 2019, it was significantly cheaper than the John Deere.
Would this type of item be typically in a 10-year plan?
Typically it would, and we're going to be looking at, and Sean is out this week, we'll be talking, we have equipment in the budget for this year, we have a vehicle for next year, so we're going to look at, what we've done, what's necessary, and then when we bring it back to the board, I'll have an answer for you on exactly where that piece comes in at. But we do budget in the 10-year plan. This is just something that we hadn't contemplated needing until you need it.
Right. So it hasn't been part of the plan, but it should have been probably, or because of our circumstances, it makes sense to add it.
It does. One of the big issues that we ran into, and it couldn't have been worse timing, trying to find an equipment rental place that was open on the holidays, and then getting equipment because everybody is fighting for whatever's available with the dozers and everything. We were able to find some, but we were still like a day and a half late from when we actually needed it. We need it when it hits right now.
Right.
Well, they'll open up the day after tomorrow if we can get somebody to come in. And they were pretty successful. We had some vendors that we work with. They were able to get a hold of them on their cell phones, and they did get us the equipment that we needed. But again, you're still a day late.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question? I'm good. Okay. All right, number 8, discussion regarding water system.
Okay, we'll start with our pump and well contract. General Pump has overhauled Booster A at Site 1A. This booster is also being upgraded or upsized to accommodate additional water once well 16 goes online. Booster C at Site 3A is also in the process of being overhauled. I just received schedule today. It will be installed and back online tomorrow. General Pump replaced a mechanical seal on booster, I think it was Booster C at Site 3B. And Booster C at 2C has been pulled and the motor is being sent to be rewound.
We're looking at, we should be doing 2 more boosters before
springtime. We usually try to do 4 total. Our 10-year tank maintenance contract, we've completed 2 washouts so far this year. There are 8 additional washouts remaining. Field staff completed several exterior coatings on several tanks. These tanks were not part of the maintenance contract. Worn out gauge boards have been replaced under the maintenance contract also. Water quality, we've begun dead end flushing. We're approximately 45% complete out of 317 total dead ends. We should be complete probably mid-February, maybe beginning of March, with all dead ends being flushed. All required sampling is up to date. Chromium-6 sampling is currently being completed quarterly for wells 10, 11, 12, 14, and 3. Our service line replacement program. Service line replacements have had a significant impact on leaks throughout the district in reducing leaks. For the calendar year 2025, we completed 186 service line replacements, and so far for 26, we've completed 9. We have a total of 86 for the fiscal year. Other updates, we completed a complete replacement for PRV 23, and that is back online. Included with that replacement were several system valves were also replaced. Planning has begun for electrical panel replacements for site 1B and 1C, though all those electrical panels are on site at our shop, so we're just working on installation. 1C's electrical panel is currently being scheduled for replacement for next month, and that site will probably be offline and running by a generator for approximately 1 week. Site 1B electrical panel replacements, it requires a significant amount of conduit work and additional work due to that panel. It's being moved and it's being upgraded to 1,000 amp service. This schedule has been pushed back slightly due to the recent storms and repairs. But we're still looking to have this completed before spring. All right, any questions?
No questions? Thank you.
If I can just add, I know there was a lot of like A, B's, and C's, and 1, 2s, and 3s in this, and locations like there's no reference. And now that we have 2 new engineering committee directors on board, we'll probably provide a kind of system map, general locations of where we are, what and where we're talking about, so you can get a feel of how the system is split up. So we have an A lane, a B lane, and a C lane in that direction from east to west. And then we have our facilities, our booster stations, our PRVs, and pressure zones, and tanks, and wells. And I think that'll kind of help kind of paint a picture of what the district looks like. So that if you need to kind of follow along of 1C, booster, or whatever, is at least that kind of helps. But I'm listening to Chris and thinking 1A, 2C is like
Yeah.
we know where it's at, right? And
Yep.
so I just for reference, I think that'll help.
Thank you. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be greatly appreciated.
All right, number 9, state regulations update.
I don't have any updates.
No updates, okay. Number 10, review of current projects.
Well 16, Best Drilling has completed the dual swab and airlifting. We had them do an extra pass to remove more additional heavy muds. That way they weren't removing these heavies during test pumping. The drilling equipment has been removed, and test pumping equipment is scheduled to be installed later this week. Well 18, Best Drilling has mobilized the drilling rig and equipment on site. I spoke with the driller today, and he expects to begin drilling tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. That's it.
Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
You haven't been down?
No.
Watch when they're test pumping and drilling.
Yeah.
And it looks like the well, the first one is gonna produce hopefully at what we thought it would and, maybe better.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay, number 11, staff reports.
I have nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing additional.
Okay. Review of action items. Do we have any from a prior?
Yes, the last meeting we had was in September, and at that point, the committee directed staff to get a quote from Astera and to schedule a presentation for a future board meeting, so we are working on that right now.
Okay. And any from the current meeting?
I have noted none.
Okay. Then we'll set the agenda for the next meeting. Anything that needs to be?
So we decided, sorry, so we decided
yeah,
which,
the 8th.
which Thursday that would be?
Good
or
idea.
The first, second, third, or fourth?
I noticed that, well, no, that's on the odd. Doesn't matter to me.
So,
Is one better for their processing of data? Is there,
You do want it on the same week as the board meetings, correct?
Yeah,
So it's
either
gonna be the second or the fourth?
second or the fourth? So would one be better in preparation for staff to
I don't have a- do you have
be
a preference?
prepared?
Jen may have a preference.
Honestly, the second.
Second?
Okay.
Second's good for me. All right. Second Thursday. Very
at
much.
a time,
Oh, and time.
Does 4 PM work?
Yeah, I'm good with 4. You good with 4? All right, second Thursday, 4 PM. Thank you for that.
February 26th.
Any other items for the agenda for the next meeting?
Not for me.
Yeah, me neither. All right. Then we will adjourn the meeting at 5:42 PM.